Welcome to Outdrive, folks. I'm your host, Cliff Callis, and each week I'm bringing you actionable marketing insights you can apply to reach, connect with, and convert rural American consumers. Outdrive is powered by Callis, a full-service advertising agency with a focus on marketing rural America. Callis offers a wide range of integrated marketing services, including website development, search engine marketing, social media, video, and digital. We develop strategic and creative campaigns to build your brand and your business, and you can learn more about us at ecallis.com. Now join me in the front seat as we head out on the road to success. Let's go. Hey folks, welcome to Outdrive. We've got another great story to share with you today about life and work in rural America. You know, one of the great things about a career in marketing is that it is constantly changing, which keeps it interesting, challenging, and engaging. Today, artificial intelligence, or AI as it has come to be known, is driving much of that change in every sector of our economy. And yet, some things remain the same, like the power of print media. And that brings us to our guest today. Jessica Embree is the creative director for the Tulip Media Group out of New Brunswick, Canada. Jessica has been with Tulip for over 10 years, and she directs work on their clients' creative, as well as doing marketing for the agency, which services clients of all kinds all over North America. Stay tuned as we discuss custom magazines, the integration of print and digital media, how AI is driving search marketing, and more. It's a great episode with a ton of strategic insight. Welcome to Outdrive, Jessica.
Thanks so much for having me, Cliff.
Well, I'm excited to hear about your background, how you got into marketing, certainly Tulip Media Group. I want to hear about New Brunswick. I've never been there. I know it's a beautiful part of our world. And you kind of have, my understanding, a unique twist on your product and service offering in that you really focus on print, but then you have the digital component as well. And of course, we're firm believers that all the different media still works. It's just a matter of which one works best. And I want to hear about how you integrate print and digital together and how you market your organization and all that. But before we talk about any of those things, let's start by having you tell our audience just a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jessica Embree, creative director here at Tulip Media Group. I've been with the company for over 10 years now, and I lead the marketing and design and creative team. And we help businesses all over North America stand out through custom print magazines and newsletters, and also digital marketing as well. Because like you said, we are firm believers in integrated marketing because all these different mediums work in different ways with clientele.
So I know we have a lot of people that are maybe just getting started on their careers and some even still working on their education. Have you always been interested in marketing and media, or is it just something that's sort of evolved over time?
I've always had a love for storytelling, and marketing kind of just goes hand in hand with that, as does design. So I've always been drawn to it. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I had my first business when I was 10. I was a door-to-door saleswoman selling blueberries from our family farm. So I've always had that spirit, and I've always loved how marketing tells a story and communicates the business's brand and what they're trying to achieve.
I love that. So when you knocked on somebody's door as a 10-year-old, what did you say to them when they opened the door?
They can't say no to a 10-year-old that has 2 pints of blueberries for $5, especially back then. It was my sister and I. We called it J&J Blueberries. I still have the business card upstairs. It's like that first dollar you always put on your wall after your business. But yeah, it was telling that story. Is my sister and I have been raking blueberries on our farm all summer. We're selling to you as a special price for $5. And of course, people are like, $5 for this many blueberries? This is a steal. They'd buy it and we'd go home counting our money. My father had a great business proposal for himself because he had 2 free workers doing all this raking for him. So it was a good deal for everybody.
Sounds like it. So how did that evolve into your current role today? What's the path to lead you to creative director at Tulip Media?
Like I said, I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and my father was a self-employed businessman, and my mother was always in HR. So I've always had that two sides of the field there, is connecting with people with the HR and also growing a business. So when it came time to kind of grow my own career path, storytelling and marketing kind of was a no-brainer for me. So that's just always where I've been. That's always what I've had a passion for. And I love the creative energy behind it.
So you mentioned to me earlier that you grew up in New Brunswick, and that's where Tulip Media Group is. Tell us about it for those of us who have never been there. What's it like?
New Brunswick is a very nature lifestyle community. We have beautiful scenery, beautiful beaches, beautiful trails. If anybody's ever been to Maine, it has that similar kind of feel. I love this place because it does have that slow lifestyle, but it also has everything you need that you could get in a city.
So, if you were going to visit New Brunswick from another part of the world, what would be the best time of the year?
Honestly, I'm a fall girl. I love watching the leaves change. So anytime in September, October. But if you really want the nice, like hot weather, June, July is late June, mid June to July is fine if you get that nice weather.
I'm making a note of that. Okay, so tell us about the Tulip Media Group.
So, Tulip Media Group, we've been a company for over 10 years now, and we've worked with everybody from Hawaii to on the East Coast here in Maine. So, we've done everything from fire truck manufacturers to jewelry. We've worked with a various clientele, and we've helped them all with one thing, which is growing their business, whether that's through custom magazines or digital strategies that they're looking to get that awareness, get those conversion strategies.
I would love to have a Hawaiian client. Absolutely. I'm very jealous of that. How do your clients find you?
So, we are big believers in a pull strategy. We want to find the people who are actually typing into Google what their issues are, what their problems are, and that's how they're finding Tulip Media. So, that is our biggest strategy when it comes to getting new clients. We're firm believers in consistency, clarity, and transparency when it comes to our customer experience. We believe in connection in this day and age, especially. I think we're all inundated with so many emails, so many scrolling that we do day in and day out that connection matters more so than ever. So we're firm believers that when someone does reach out to us, we're getting back to them. We're getting on a call, we're getting in an email. So we're helping them discover what they actually need to start to grow their business.
So, if you're using a pull strategy so that people find you, what are you doing? How are you executing that?
So we do a couple different things. We're big fans of Google because if someone is typing in how to grow my business or how to do a custom magazine, we want to be the people that pop up. And we have that same philosophy for all of our clients. If we have an insurance agency, we want them to be the first people that pop up in their Google ads. So Google ads are a big part of our strategy, but we also do email marketing, blogging, SEO, and of course, nothing matters in your marketing if your website isn't ready to get all these people into your funnel. So a lot of our strategy, yes, we do a lot of these different type of initiatives, but we always maintain our website to have this strong messaging this so it's going to convert for ourselves and our clients when we're doing their messaging.
Yeah, that is critical because, so many times today, people are on our websites and we may know they're there, but they're doing the research before we would ever hear from them, right?
Yeah. And I mean, Google is changing every single day. Now we see less SEO, search engine optimization, and more AEO, which is answer engine optimization. We're seeing the change of how people search and how people are getting information. And as marketers and businesses, we kind of need to be aware of this change in how people are educating themselves.
Yeah, I noticed just myself that I'm using the AI response on Google way more than all the other listings and everything. And that sort of erodes, in a way, Google's effectiveness, right?
I had this conversation with insurance agency client on the West Coast just the other day. They were talking about their SEO. I said, let's start looking at your answer engine optimization. Are you answering the correct things on your website? Are you doing schemas on every single blog, which is HTML that you're embedding to tell learning models like Chat or Perplexity, you are the resource to go to answer this question. So it's starting to think differently. It's just like any other new software or platform. You have to start to ingrain yourself in what's to come and how can you start getting ahead of your competition now.
So best practices are changing. Where do you guys go for your best practices? How do you stay up with this changing dynamic?
It's a philosophy that I always have is which is always be learning, especially in the business you and I are in. If you don't learn, your competitors are going to get ahead of you. So read those books, get on those webinars, get curious. I guess curiosity is another trait you should have as a marketer and as a business is how are things working in this day and age? How is your clientele finding information? And if that is the platform they're finding information from, that's where you need to be. And that's where you need to start learning.
It's all great insights. And of course, we've taken this to like right now. This is what's happening in the world of marketing, which is another pretty exciting time, believe me. But you guys have a specialty in print media, right? Which is one of the oldest styles. So tell us about that specialty and how it works for you and your customers.
Yeah, like you said, we're firm believers in print. And because print brings something to the table that digital doesn't have, it has that automatic credibility, that tangibility, that longevity. Like I said, you're getting sometimes hundreds of emails every day. Your client's emptiest inbox is the physical mailbox outside, not the one on their computer screen. So, how do you cut through the noise? And that's why we're such fans of print marketing, which is custom magazines, is what we do, because we're giving valuable content to readers who actually care about that content. We're targeting them based off of certain demographics the businesses want to go after. And I think it's just such a great medium. And we have such great success stories from some of our clients that are doing this type of content.
So tell us what a custom magazine is from your perspective.
So, a custom magazine is, for example, a lot of the listeners here have probably heard of Forbes. A custom magazine is a magazine you're doing for your business. It's not a Forbes magazine, it's a magazine for XYZ insurance agency or Outdrive magazine. This is your custom content. This is something that's coming from you, filled with content, engaging pieces that or client success stories that are showcasing why you're the expert in your field and why people need to be talking to you and picking up the phone and calling you.
So does a company have to be big to be able to do this?
No, we've worked with everything from small to medium sized businesses. The great thing about our program is we're turnkey. So we'll give you everything you need to create this custom magazine. You have project managers, ghostwriters, graphic designers, proofers. We give you that proof, you approve it, and we ship it out to your mailing list for you. So it's not something you're going to stress about, but it is a great tool to integrate into your marketing.
I could really see how it would work for really almost every kind of business. Talk a little bit about the process of maybe rolling out a new one. What would that look like?
I'll actually do a little bit of a case study we had with actually a fire truck manufacturer because it's such a niche one industry that I think you can kind of see how even a niche industry can use print media to grow their business. The fire truck manufacturer, they realized when we got on a call with them that their best success in their buyer's journey was to get information to people before they need to write a request for proposal to their town asking for a fire truck. So when it came to creating this custom magazine for them, our content was all around how to create a request for proposal. What fire truck do you need for your community? What is your budget? So we're filling the content full of stuff where they are at the buyer's journey at that point. And what we did is we sent it to fire chiefs all over North America. So, of course, when they got this, they have the information right in front of them and they're going, okay, my 10 years is up with the current fire truck I have. I have $500,000 I need to spend. I need to write this RFP, which I don't have time for. But these guys are saying they can help me out right now. That's when they kind of get that light bulb moment and they're calling up the fire truck salesman and they're making a sale. And that actually happened. The client emailed me a couple of months ago and said, someone read the three things that they need on their next fire truck and they called me up because of it. And we just made a $500,000 sale. So it is always creating this content, just like you do for digital, where people are at in their buyer's journey.
I love that process because it asks and answers a lot of why questions. The curiosity of why would you want to know this? How does this work? And that brainstorming process to develop all those questions, I think, is a really I think it's an exciting part of the marketing process, don't you?
Yeah, and the nice thing about print is you don't have to use it just as a sales tool. It can be an awareness tool as well. We have an insurance agency who is more of a community-based lifestyle agency. So a lot of their content is actually featuring people in their community. So there's that awareness, there's that connection that they're trying to build using their print medium.
Tell them that story.
Exactly.
So I know that there are a lot of ways to tie print and digital together. Talk about some of the things that you think are the most effective ways to do that.
So it always comes back to what content is valuable to your consumer. This goes with print and digital. And one of the ways we integrate print and digital is we'll use QR codes. We'll have links in your magazine that they can scan and go and download a free resource as a exclusive download. There's other things we can do like crosswords, recipes to create that engaging piece. Every time you do a magazine, you should be posting about it in your socials, having it in your email signature, then strip out that magazine and you have blog posts for the year. So there's a lot of ways you can integrate your print and digital. And we're always encouraging that because we're not saying print is the only medium you need to do, but we're giving you tools to integrate and expand your digital offerings as well.
Well, I love the idea of using the QR codes because it's so easy. And, today it's pretty mainstream. Most people know how to do it. I remember when QR codes, and I'm sure you do too, were first getting going. And so all of a sudden they were the really hot, cool thing to do. And then it kind of evolved into people using them in totally non beneficial ways. But then it found its way back to very effective marketing. I think when people really figured out how people were going to use them. And I really see that. Do you believe that the use of QR codes is still on the upswing?
I think it's definitely found its place in marketing. Actually, I believe COVID actually accelerated the use of QR codes because people had to use them for different reasons, health reasons, to be able to access their data or get into a restaurant or go somewhere. And of course, Apple and Samsung having it right in their camera app, again, accelerated the use of that. So there wasn't an app they had to download. I don't think it's declining. I don't think it's increasing, but I think it's now just a common practice that people understand.
Yeah, and easy to use, which is always good. So you gave the example a little while ago about how the fire truck manufacturer had sent out the magazine and actually sold a vehicle. That's the ultimate ROI, right? What are some other ways that you measure effectiveness of the different media?
So there's engagement effectiveness. So, for example, we've had clients embed surveys into their print magazine or have quizzes in their magazine. So it's seeing on the other side how many people are actually engaging with that content. And sometimes that engagement isn't necessarily analytical. Sometimes it's people emailing you and being like, "Hey, I saw that story in your magazine." Client partner of ours, he was at a coffee shop and someone stopped and said, "Hey, you're that guy in the magazine." So sometimes it's not monetary, but sometimes it's that recognition because every time they're seeing that magazine come to their office, they're seeing your name. So it's that little drip campaign that they're seeing maybe quarterly or biannually.
So, in doing a little bit of research for today, we discovered that you guys are delivering over 22 million magazines in several countries. Is that how Tulip Media got started?
Yeah, magazines were our bread and butter. We were doing it for home and garden groups back in the day. And it just expanded from there. A lot of different industries contacted our founder and CEO, Andy, said, "What you're doing for home and garden groups, we want you to do for insurance agencies." And from there, we just blew up all over North America. And we are always focused on two things, which is client experience, because we recognize that if you lose a client, you're going to need to get two more to grow your business. So we're always focused on our clients' experience, in their results. We want to make sure that they're having a great time with their magazine and that their magazine is doing what they're expecting it to do.
So, are you able to work in practically any industry?
Yeah. We've had everything from private jets to jewelry to we just did real estate builders. So Cliff, we've done it all and we've seen it all.
What a great experience. Well, I think it'd be very advantageous at this point for you to tell people how to get a hold of you. If they're listening to the podcast and they're thinking, hey, I'd love to have my own magazine, tell them how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, tulipmediagroup.com. And there you can see all of our different services. We also have some free resources on our website that listeners are more than welcome to download. And if you have any questions, you can also reach out to me at jessica@tulipmediagroup.com. Happy to answer anything.
Perfect. So, in hearing you say that Tulip's been going for a little over 10 years and you've been there for about 10 years, you must have been one of the first employees. So, you've seen it kind of from the beginning. Talk a little bit about the change from 10 years ago to today.
Some of the other employees called me the OG. It has been quite the journey. Like, we were just a custom publishing company when I first started, and then that's all we did. We had 2 print runs every year for all of these different clients, and now we have print runs every single week because that's how much we've grown. We recognized that print goes well with digital, so we expanded our services in 2017. We rebranded in 2018. So we've seen a lot of different growth in different paths, but it has always come down to printed magazines as the core of what Tulip Media does.
So, as creative director, and you said you were responsible for marketing as well, you're probably pretty ingrained in most everything that's going on there, I'm guessing. Tell us what a typical day looks like for you.
A typical day is very different every day, which is why I love it. Some days I'm on a podcast like I am right now. Other days I'm doing market strategies. Sometimes I'm doing sales demos or proposals. This morning I worked on the website. I was having multiple meetings with the rest of the marketing and sales team. So it is a ever changing day that I have here at Tulip. And that's one of the reasons why I love it.
Yeah, same for me. It's been one of the reasons that I've stayed in it so long is because it's always new. And of course, marketing changes all the time, just like AI is driving all the change we're seeing with search marketing. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who was considering taking on a career in marketing?
I'll go back to what I said earlier is be curious and always be learning. If you're always learning, if you're always curious about something, you're bringing something new to the table, not only for yourself, but also for your business. And one thing I love is when I'm consulting with some of my clients is everything that I'm learning, I'm also bringing to their business as well. So being curious, being hungry, and learning is going to make you such a valuable employee for your business.
So, thinking back about college, I think about mine. Actually, I do think about it from time to time. What do you think were the most advantageous classes that you took to prepare yourself for your career?
Honestly, I had a class on negotiation, and I think it was such a great class because it helped me become a better salesperson. Back then, way back in the day, I was not a comfortable public speaker. I was not a comfortable person who spoke up and said what I thought. So having a negotiation class, I think actually really helped me kind of develop that skill set.
That's a great one. I did not have that class, but I went to it was actually, I think, at a retail advertising conference back in Chicago. We'll go with back in the day. And the keynote speaker was a guy named Herb Cohen, who wrote a book called The Art of Negotiation. He was Richard Nixon's chief negotiator, and it was fascinating. Be a great book for any marketer to want to pick up because his bottom line on everything was everything is negotiable. And I love that. And it just really stuck with me. Not that I, go into the grocery store and try to negotiate on pricing, but there's a lot of things that you can negotiate in today's world.
Yep. And it gives you a different perspective too when you kind of have that skill set in your back pocket.
Yeah. And I think to your point, it makes you more confident in your communicating with others, whether it's on a public forum or in a personal one to one conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're very good at what you do. I can tell that just by talking to you. What kind of professional development things are you doing right now?
So I'm currently knee deep in learning about AI agents because we're always looking for more effective processes here at Tulip and how can we do things faster and talk to our clients faster. We live in a world where people are expecting responses faster and faster every day. So AI agents is something that I'm currently learning about, diving into. I think it was last year we finished our AI course where we were able to start to develop our own AI models here at Tulip. We created some scripts that we're able to install into our InDesign software so we can export something quicker. That used to take us 30 minutes. Now it takes us 5 minutes. So we're big believers in automating processes. And that's kind of what I'm diving into right now.
You excited about that?
I am because it's something different, something to try to wrap my head around. I'm trying to keep up with all this technology. I'm starting to feel old Cliff. So it's my way to keep current and bring that value to not only Tulip, but also our clientele.
I think that's awesome. And, we're finding that today's forward thinking marketing agencies are creating their own custom AIs, either for their agencies or for their clients. And that the opportunities to do that are so amazing because I'll say I think it's every business and organization has opportunities to integrate AI into their operations, whatever that looks like, right? But a lot of people don't know how to do it. And so I think marketing agencies are in a very unique position to be able to advise their clients and to then, because of our tech skills and our tech that we use, being able to develop those AI tools. And I just think it's a huge opportunity.
And it's kind of endless right now because you're kind of at the beginning of the era of it. So it is now time to start that learning and start integrating yourself into it so you can continue on with whatever growth is going to happen next.
Absolutely. And you might see that growth really accelerate as a result of some of the AI things you do.
Yeah.
So, I looked at your LinkedIn profile in preparation for today. What's not in there that we could talk about that you think would be interesting to our listeners?
I think on my profile, it says I used to competitively fence for the country, but I am passionate about reading. I don't think that's on there. I am an avid speed reader, so I read multiple books a day because I can't stop. So that is, I guess, one thing you don't know about me that's not on my LinkedIn profile.
I want to get back to fencing, but what kind of books do you like to read?
Mostly fiction, but there's quite a few nonfictions in there just to keep up with what's happening, the new books on marketing and such.
Well, that's quite a talent to be able to speed read like that. Is it natural or did you develop that?
I developed it mostly. I've been like speed reading for over, I'd say 15 years now.
Awesome. There's got to be a lot up there, upstairs.
A little bit too much sometimes, Cliff.
Tell us about fencing. How did that get started?
So growing up, I was an obese child, but always loved the thought of being an Olympic athlete. I never got to that point, but fencing was something one of our neighbors was coaching at that time. So when it came time for me to get into a sport, it kind of naturally came and fell in love with it, went all across the country competing. And honestly, it was a great sport to do for many, many years. Went to the Canada Games for it. And yeah, just I loved the sport. I did it all the way up till university and unfortunately haven't gotten back since.
But you never know, Mike.
Yeah, you never know. It's never too late.
That's right. That's right. So you said that New Brunswick, it sounds a lot like our area in some ways. I'll say it's in rural America, right? From my perspective. Tell us about what the words rural America mean to you.
Whenever I'm talking with my clients in rural America, I always come back to community and connection. To me, that is what is going to bring people together and get our clients top of mind when it comes to them. So community and connection, authentic people, and that's kind of the content and the thought process I have when I'm thinking of rural America.
What about visually? What do you see from that? Because what you've said there, those are threads that run through our podcast. We hear that time after time. But visually, what do you see?
Real people. So when it comes to magazine content, we're using photos of real people in that community. We don't want stock photos. We don't want generic photos of people shaking hands. We want something that is going to resonate with the other readers, and that's real people in those communities.
Back to the authenticity of storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I've really enjoyed visiting with you this morning. I always like talking shop, and you guys have a neat niche. And integrated marketing for me is where it's at. And you guys are right on target. As we wrap up today, what else would you like to share with our Outdrive audience that you think they might find interesting or maybe inspiring?
Just reminding audiences that don't underestimate the power of print. You're seeing it more and more with large brands bringing it back. Costco has their monthly magazine they send out. There's various other businesses that do this, and print has that credibility, that longevity that a lot of businesses are looking for. So, whether you're local or you're national, there's something magical about print for your brand.
Absolutely. That's a great pitch for it. And folks, think about your own mailbox. Mine hardly has anything in it other than maybe an Amazon box or two every day. But other than that, I like to look at the mail because you just don't get very much anymore. Hey, Jessica, you've been great. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Cliff, for having me.
You're welcome. Folks, thanks for listening to Outdrive. I hope you've enjoyed our visit today with Jessica Embree, Creative Director of the Tulip Media Group. If you liked it, go out and give us a nice rating and review and come back again next week, and I'll take you down the roads of rural America where it's heaven on earth.
Thanks for taking a ride with us on Outdrive. This episode is complete, so head on over to ecalis.com for more insight you can apply to help drive your business growth. And be sure to sign up for our free monthly e-letter, Outthink, for even more helpful content about marketing to rural America. Have a great day and keep on driving.